Buttigieg has been making the rounds on cable television, making the case for why it's important to vote for Biden and Kamala Harris and get Trump out. And to be fair, he's actually done a decent job, especially when appearing on Fox News. And I want to show you a little bit of what that looked like. But just keep in mind that this story isn't about Mayor Pete's performance. It's about how ridiculous people are when they're fawning over him in legacy media outlets. Watch.
Can you give us some insight into what she might say to justify why she was for Medicare for all then and is not for it now, for example?
Well, there's a classic parlor game of trying to find a little bit of daylight between running mates. And if people want to play that game, we could look into why an evangelical Christian like Mike Pence wants to be on a ticket with the president caught with a porn star, or how he feels about the immigration policy that he called unconstitutional before he decided to team up with Donald Trump. If folks want to play that game, we could do it all night. But I think what most Americans want to hear about is, are our families going to be better protected than they have been by this president who's failed to secure America in the face of one of the most dangerous things ever to happen to our country?
So that was great. Mayor Pete, I keep calling him Mayor Pete. Pete Buttigieg did what he was supposed to do. And I applaud him for doing what he's supposed to do. But I'm gonna read a few excerpts from a piece in an opinion piece in the Los Angeles Times written by Mary McNamara. She says, he always looks so nice, Pete Buttigieg, handsome in that white Midwestern college yearbook way, with a smile that seems bucktooth but isn't, and those perfectly and apparently naturally arched eyebrows. Come on. Mary, have some dignity, Mary, have some dignity. What are you doing?
I mean,
there's more, but go ahead, Jay.
No, the thing that got me was, apparently looking bucktooth is awesome when Buttigieg does it, but he's not bucktooth. So I'm giving him a compliment for imperfect plus perfect teeth at the same time, because I'm not a journalist. I'm doing hagiography. Man, how is that for butchering a word? But it makes my point about not being elitist. Okay, what they're doing is propaganda. Oh my God, the beloved Buttigieg. And why? Is it, did some memo get written at the LA Times and all these places to kiss Buttigieg's ass? No, it's just that he's tailor-made for them, the elites. And all the articles are like, he's a Rhodes Scholar, and he's amazing. This, in The Guardian, they said, even The Guardian, this unassuming mayor of South Bend, Indiana. What do you mean unassuming? He ran for president. What part of that is unassuming? When he is a relatively tiny politician, it's like, wow, brave of him to have the courage and to be bold enough to run for president. When Nina Turner, who was a state senator, is even mentioned in a conversation, they're like, that's a lowly position. How dare she think about running? Oh, funny how a progressive is viewed a little bit differently than a mainstream person. But Mayor Pete can do no wrong. And look, a lot of these appearances are good. I'm happy that he's doing them. Just don't gaslight us. And some of it is not so great. It involves turns of phrase that honestly I enjoy, but does not connect to the average man at all. But the elites can't see that. If you write for the LA Times, New York Times, they're like, oh my God, he used such great SAT words. I love that guy.
But also, I mean, what we're hearing or reading from Mary McNamara, it's all about appearances. It's not about substance. Now, again, to be fair, he did well. He did well in these two Fox News clips. We'll show you the next one in just a second. But like the way she writes about him, it's, again, have some dignity. So let me read you two more excerpts. Having served as stand-in for Vice President Mike Pence during Harris's debate prep, Buttigieg must have seemed a natural choice for a pre-debate interview. Really? Why? And if he was really the one standing in for Mike Pence, look, I think Kamala Harris, and for me, it's not about tone. She could have very calmly dismantled Mike Pence, focusing on the substance. Like people think that, at least, some people at TYT have been too critical of Kamala Harris because we were expecting her to be like vicious or aggressive. No, she missed opportunities to highlight the failures of the Trump administration. That's what it's about, and you can calmly say that. Anyway, moving on to one other excerpt. Now we know what lies behind that white shirt dark tie, and Mr. Smith goes to Washington face is not a policy wonk, but a rhetorical assassin with a loving husband, a really nice kitchen, and deadly aim. All right.
Okay, they come back to the kitchen too. Here, I want to give you an example real quick of what I mean by his rhetoric that I like, but is not connecting. He ended one of the interviews saying about Tony Barrett, what I see in there is a pathway to judicial activism cloaked in judicial humility. That connects with 7 people in the country. Okay, I'm just keeping it real. And he says, and then she went on to say, Buttigieg was often dinged for seeming dull, intellectual, and frankly, a bit nerdy. Why do I tell you that? Because even their theoretical critique is he's an intellectual and what a wonderful nerd and what a great guy. And then she goes back to his immaculate kitchen. Buttigieg can do no wrong. And look, if they treated everyone the same way, I say, okay, well, look, I guess they really love powerful people. No, progressives always attack. And people like Pete Buttigieg, who the elites love, always fluffed up. That's just the reality of it. And by the way, the last thing on that, on all this is the rest of the Democrats suck at this. He's doing an okay to good job. I'm happy he's out there right now, right? But man, the bar is low. He makes one decent comment, they're like, whoa, oh my God, da. Oh my God, get progressives to debate. And then you'll see how Democrats could actually be tough.
Thanks for watching the Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.